I'm very happy to connect and, uh, come here and, talk about this topic. So today I will be talking about balanced diet and healthy eating approaches. So to just start with, you have already introduced me, and I'm really thankful for that. I would like to tell you that I'm a lactation professional, a dentist, and a certified child nutritionist. So basically, I believe that it is extremely important for us as parents to work on, relationship of our child with food. It is really important for us to build that positive relationship because that is the base, because that is the base for raising our kids so that later on in future they are comfortable with eating everything and they don't have any problem, they have normal growth, normal development, which what I have seen our generation has faced. Our relationships with food is not very well developed. We are not well aware about our satiety levels, our fullness levels, our hunger cues. That's why it is important to know about that. I think we all need to know what all we don't have to do instead of what we have to do, so we all have to focus on that. That's why I keep on talking a lot about that there are certain things which we need to unlearn because we have imbibed all those things from our parents, how they have raised us and what all things were practiced initially. Now the times have changed, there are new recommendations, there are new styles of raising kids, new styles of offering foods and respecting them. So that's why it is really important to know about certain healthy approaches. And I'm sure, most of you must be knowing about it. It's just a quick refreshment session so that, you get a good reminder. I think these reminders are very, very important. Okay. So, should we start with it? We can start.
Yes, ma'am, we can move forward. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. So, the next important thing, is let us talk in short about balanced diet. Okay, what a balanced diet means. Somehow I think every time, a parent, being a parent of this generation, when we read a lot, we research a lot, we really get sometimes very scared about listening to such words like healthy, balanced diet. I would like to make it very clear and simple for all of you. We don't have to worry about so much that, okay, this is the chart and I have to add this to the diet, this to the diet. No, we just have to understand what actually is the literal meaning of it. Not in terms of, adding proteins to it, added to it, nutrients to it, but in all, what is a balanced diet? Basically, it is any kind of diet, that nourishes a child well. And, neither it includes any restrictions or overnutrition. It doesn't mean that, you are only serving one kind of thing to your child over the period of time, okay? Or you are restricting some kind of thing. It means that you have to include a variety of food groups which are available in the place where you are living. Whatever is available, whatever resources are available, it doesn't mean that you have to go out of the way and get some fruits or vegetables which are not seasonally produced in your environment, and then because someone told you that you have to include this and you are trying. No, a balanced diet is one which can be created, which can, in the resources which are available in your surroundings. Number one. The second important thing is that, you know, a balanced, healthy diet should be the one where you don't have any labelings assigned. This is a good food, this is a bad food. There should be no labels for anything. Okay. Now, if we talk about, let us, talk about, that a balanced diet is the one which is going to provide all essential nutrients, okay, which are important for the growth and development of your child. And if we cut down it into few categories, just for the information of everybody, I'm sure you all must know, but what are the wide categories in which we can divide it? It can be, we have to include all fruits and vegetables which are seasonally available, okay, and because they are going to provide a lot of minerals and vitamins. Then the grains we have to include, and we don't have to specifically, just stay upon the grains like, oh, no, only wheat, no, only rice. No, we have to include all kinds of grains available. That is what means variety of food, all millets, everything we have to include, right? Then we have proteins, okay. We have to try our best to include all legumes, all lentils, okay, and then chicken, fish, okay. Then we have dairy. That is also part of a balanced diet, okay. It is just a part, okay. the dairy thing cannot replace the entire diet. Why I'm focusing on this? Because many of the parents think, and even even I was also taught this, that if your child is not eating a diet, give him or her a glass of milk. Okay, so that is not going to replace it. Dairy or milk is just a part of the balanced diet. It is not the entire diet, because this is a misconception, which is, I think in India we follow it a lot. We always prefer that our child should have 3 glasses of milk in a day, and we would not focus on giving variety of other food items. So this is extremely important. Then fats, it is extremely important to include healthy fats in the diet. And by fats, I mean to say healthy fats, like cooking food in olive oil, including nuts and seeds, including avocados. If available, if it is available, in your surroundings. So it is extremely important. And the last important thing is water. It is also extremely important that we should have a good amount of water, in our daily routine, so as to keep ourselves well, hydrated. And it is also important, for the good functioning of our body. Okay, so all these are the basic components which we talked about. Now I want to tell you about another important thing, that good nutrition could include any food, because why? There are different households follow different diet. Okay, some may have plant-based diet, some may also include animal-based diets. In terms of, some people follow a vegetarian diet, some people follow a non-vegetarian diet, some people may have a restricted diet also, like they don't eat, as per their traditions, religious or the cultural reasons, they might not eat certain food items. So it doesn't mean that they cannot have a balanced diet. No, there are so vast variety of food items available, that you can create that balanced diet for the optimal growth of your child. Okay, so if we just talk about, what a balanced diet plate looks like, how to form it. So first, I would like to give you very quick examples, so that you all just get a look of it, that whatever you are having in your daily routine, especially the Indian meals, they're actually balanced in themselves. Okay, you don't need to work on anything extra to create that balanced diet. Let us talk about very simple. You cook the paneer sabzi, okay, with the roti or a chapati, okay, and then you have served the salad with it, tomato salad. We generally squeeze a lemon on it. So this is a healthy diet. A rice bowl with rajma and with salad and curd is also a balanced diet. Okay, then you serve pancakes to your child in the morning. Let us suppose, pancakes with the spread of nut butter and few, sprinkle seeds over it, a flaxseed powder you sprinkle over it. That is also a balanced diet. Then let us suppose you are eating poha in the morning. Okay, around, you added a little bit, you add poha in the morning, which has a lot of veggies. Okay, and you had a glass of milk with it. Not that's also a balanced diet. So in all, you don't have to follow any strict chart to form a balanced diet. That is the message I want to give across. The only thing which you have to keep in mind is that I have to include a lot of variety. Now, what all varieties are there which needs to be included? Absolutely. You should include all fruits and vegetables which are seasonally available. You should make it a part that you are serving fruits every day to your child. You are serving veggies every day to your child. Okay, then let us come to grains and starches. It is extremely important that you should try to include all kinds of, you have to include, let us suppose wheat, rice, millets like ragi, then we have jowar, little millet, all kind of things you should include every day. Try to include little everything in the diets. Okay, then nuts and seeds again, are extremely important. Then, the other part is very important, is we have fruits, then we have grains, and then we have legumes. Apart from this, what else is needed, to, as per the daily requirement, we need to include certain foods rich in, let us suppose, calcium. Then we have omega-3, iron, vitamin C, because these are very important for the growth of our kids. Okay, so the plate should also include these things also. Okay, then fats, as I told, that fat is a very important component which has to be included in the diet of the child. Okay, And if you are completely on, let us suppose, plant-based diet, or the people who are completely vegan, then it is also important that we have to include vitamin B12 also, because that will lack, in that food. So in that cases, if it is needed, let us suppose in such cases, then the diet can be supplemented also. Like let us suppose you can also offer the supplements. If the child is completely, you're following a vegetarian diet where you're not taking eggs also at all. So in that case, that vitamin B12 supplementation will be needed. Okay. Then these are some important things which, you have to keep in your mind, that all these things you have to include. So it's just that whatever you are cooking at your home, just make sure that you are trying to include, you're trying to make it calorie dense, and you're trying to include all these things in your diet. And that would be a plain, simple, balanced diet. You don't have to follow any diet plan for that, because I believe that, whatever your family is eating, whatever you are eating, is enough, for, your child. And you should keep on cooking that, and you should keep on serving that to your child. Okay. Also, let us suppose if you are confused, that how to create a plate, so you can just divide, divide your, whenever you are trying to cook something, you can keep some points in your mind, that, as we just talked, that you have to include some grains, okay, and starches. So let us suppose you try to cook rice today, okay, with rice. Now you have to include veggies we talk about. So you can include certain veggies, whatever veggies are available. Let us suppose carrots, let us suppose bell peppers, broccoli. You included this. Now we have to add a little bit of fat to it. Okay, so you can cook it in desi ghee, okay, to just enrich it. Okay, or maybe, you know, you can add a little bit of paneer cubes into it to increase the calcium level. So this is how, you can mix and match all the categories, and you can create a balanced diet for your child. Okay. And it is not possible that you're going to follow this thing every day. Sometimes it may be that at night, or maybe in the evening, your child just wanted to have a slice of bread, okay? And so it's okay, slice of bread with a spread of peanut butter, or maybe, almond butter, or whatever, it's okay. So it's not that the entire day you have to keep on thinking, I have to give a balanced diet, I have to give a balanced diet. No, it's completely fine. We actually look over, we generally see what a child eats over a span of 1 week. We don't concentrate over a day that, okay, my child has to eat this much in a day, this much, in a day. No, we should try to focus over the week. Okay. That's why we always say keep on offering different variety of things, and just don't try to calculate, my child has eaten this amount, my child has eaten this amount. No, it's important to keep on offering. The next important thing which we are going to talk about is the division of responsibility. So, my main focus today is about the healthy approaches. Okay. I know that there are hundred of things available where you will read about, what to cook, what to serve, okay. But I want to give this you a view that actually a balanced diet is whatever you are cooking at your home, freshly prepared diet which has no processed food items. You are preparing it from the fresh fruits and vegetables. You are including fats into it, and you're preparing at your home and serving to your child is a balanced diet. And if you are including all variety, it's not that you have this, culture of just having potatoes every day or having rice every day. Okay, you are not changing the grains, so that is where the lack of nutrients is going to come. Okay, so this is the overall point. Now, the second important thing, which as a parent we all have to understand, because nowadays I see the parents are trying their best to cook things. They're researching a lot, but still, a lot of things are coming up. Earlier, we never used to hear that my child is a picky eater, or my child is a fussy eater, or my child is not eating well. I am cooking, but I am serving, but my child is not eating. Then comes my child is not gaining weight, my child is not eating. So these are the issues which has started coming up, and we are seeing it a lot. But then instead of, I always believe, instead of just labeling your child as a picky eater or a fussy eater, as parents, don't you think that it is important for us to understand what is the reason behind it, why your child is showing such behavior, okay? And it is important for us to study about those reasons and work on solutions instead of just talking, that he's not eating anything, she's not eating anything. So that's where the very first point which comes in, which we all have to understand is the division of responsibility. What as parents is our responsibility? And I want you all to hear this and just put it inside put this inside your mind, that it is our responsibility to decide that what we have to offer to our child, number one, when we have to offer it and where to offer. Okay. So let us suppose today I decided to cook rice and dal for my child. So I decided this. Then I decided that I'll be offering it as lunch to my child. The lunch time is around 1 o'clock. And where to offer, I decided that I asked my child that he has to sit over the high chair or on the dining table without any distraction. So this is my role as a parent while I'm serving food. Okay. Now, what is the role of my child? The role of my child is how much the child has to eat, whether the child has to eat or not. So we need to respect this, and actually it takes a lot of effort to accept these things. Trust me, when you will cook a meal for your child and your child says that I don't want to have it right now, I'm not hungry, as parents you will feel right that, oh my God, I cooked, and I took out time and I cooked a meal for my child and my child is not eating it, right? And then starts that cycle of forcing the child, trying distractions, trying other methods to make the child eat. But then, just plain simple thing to understand that my child is not hungry at that period of time, and just respecting it and serving the meal maybe after 1.5 or 2 hours will make things very simpler. So we need to respect that decision, whether the child is 6 months old, whether the child is 9 months, 12 months, 1.5 years, or 2 years, 5 years. We need to understand this thing, that we have to respect that. Okay. Here, we are just talking about normal scenarios. We are not talking about any medical issues. If the child is rejecting food, not eating food because of some medical issues, then that has to be taken care of by, other professionals have to be included. But now, right now, we are just talking about normal, healthy approaches. Now, how to establish that positive relationship, how to work on these healthy food approaches. So, because these positive, relationship with food is also important for kids' physical and mental development. Very, very important. Okay. So, the very first thing is let the child explore the food. Okay. Let them create mess. Okay. Encourage them to self-feed. So, whenever you are serving the food to the child, let them try. Okay. Let them explore it. Don't stop them again and again. Don't, put a lot of rules over them that this is the way you have to eat. This is the way you have to, hold the spoon, or just keeping simple example, just cleaning their face again and again because they have just spread the food and over their mouth. So there are few things which we need to stop doing. The next important thing is lead by example. It is extremely important that what we are doing as parents. Okay, children learn by observing, us. They get influenced by us. So it is extremely important that you are also eating healthy food in front of them. It's not that I have this habit of, I am just going into the kitchen, I'm just taking a biscuit and eating it, and when my sons ask for it, I'm saying a plain no. Okay, so this is the thing which we have to stop. Okay, if I will follow a certain kind of routine, I will follow certain kind of healthy eating habits. That is what my child is going to, look, observe, and then follow. Okay, then next important thing is encourage variety. We have already talked about it, but extremely important to serve wide variety of food, especially if any one of you is a parent of a child between 6 to 12 months of age. Extremely important that you should try to introduce as much of fruits, as much of vegetables, as much of grains possible, because we need that our child should try to accept every kind of food, which is being offered. And trust me, not in one time, two time, or three times. It takes around 15 to 20 times for a child to accept a new food. So it's not that if your child has rejected it, you just stop giving it, or you'll think, no, my child is rejecting it. No, you have to keep on offering and you have to encourage the variety. So don't follow any set, patterns that I only have to cook this, I will not cook this, or I we just like this, or we'll cook this. Try to, try a lot of variety and try to include a lot of things. Try to get all those things at your home so that you can cook and provide it to your family and your child. The next is focus on the experience. So it is extremely important to make meal times positive, okay, and a relaxed experience. The child should not run away from the meals, so you have to calm down so that your child calms down. It is extremely important. It should be free of distractions, no phones, no TVs. Also, there should not be any kind of negative experience associated with. You are all the day forcing your child to eat, and your child doesn't want to eat, or your child has just eaten half sandwich and you want your child to finish the entire sandwich, and you are just saying, if you will not eat this, I will not talk to you. So if you will not eat this, you will not get your playtime. So these are such things by which the child associate the food with a kind of negative experience. There's a negative association which we as parents should not, bring into that. Then get the kids involved, okay? Allow your kids to help with the grocery shopping, meal planning, preparation, okay? And by this way, they'll also they'll get connected with the, food. The step number one is, if your kids are small, just let them touch the vegetables and food, okay? Let them just smell it, Let them help you in kitchen activities as easy as simple activity as just mashing a potato, okay? That is as easy as it can be, okay? Limit distractions again and again, extremely important. I know distraction, I always say it can be one of the amazing way to make your child finish the entire plate. And you would be like, wow, my son was seeing screens and he finished the entire plate of food, But then there are there are so many things which are going at the mind of the child, a child who is growing, and certain kind of associations which are being, developed, which can affect the satiety levels of the child. So there is no mindful eating going on. So very important not to follow distraction feeding at all. Just we have to instead what you should follow a lot of conversation, a lot of interactions during your meal times. You should talk about food. You should talk to your child, That is the best time to connect with your child. Now, the next important thing is avoid any kind of pressure. We all feel sometimes we don't pressurize our kids, We never force them to, but there are certain passive pressures which are going on. Simple as that, when your child is eating and this is a plate and your child is just not chewing the food right now or not eating, and you just push the plate in front of your child, have it. And then you just ask your child, one more bite, just one more bite, last bite, last bite. These are the things we generally do, which creates a kind of pressure, in child's mind and does affect the relationship of food, the relationship of child with the food. Then encourage self-regulation, You have to teach your kids to listen to their own hunger, okay, their fullness cue, so that they can respect, and but how can you encourage that by respecting their decision? It's not that, I have, I've talked to a lot of people of our generations, and I'm sure many of you could relate to this, what I'm telling right now. Many a times it happens, that we don't understand whether we are full or not. Sometimes we end up overeating. Sometimes we are upset and we start eating food, okay? And sometimes we just don't understand, that we just had our food and still we are feeling hungry. So why all these things happen? Sometimes we start eating out of stress also because we are not, we are not, we don't understand our fullness levels, satiety levels, okay? But kids do understand it, and this is the right age from since the beginning. If you will respect it, they will develop that thing and they'll be very particular about how much to eat and at what level they feel full. So very important not to force them and to practice mindful eating. In mindful eating, it is just like, just teach them how to pay attention to the food while they are eating, how to, they should let them touch it, let them smell it, and let them feel the texture of the food. These are some really important things which we should allow our kids to do. Okay. So now some extremely important tips, for these are some points which can be followed by all of us, okay, so as to establish, a positive relationship of child with the food, which we have just discussed right now. The the next important thing is like, let me talk about some tips, important tips which can help all of you, with your child eating habits. It is extremely important that you serve variety. Number second important thing is, try to make meals and snacks more colorful. More colors, more nutrients. So if you'll add a lot of colors to the meals, you know, that will be more visually appealing, and your child would love it, and they will have this, they would try to try to explore it and eat it. Okay, so that is extremely important. Try to make it colorful, presentable. That will really help your child to develop that association with the food. We already discussed that. Try to involve your child in meal preparation. Okay, in any kind of things you like. As if your child is small, you can just take them for a grocery shopping, and you can ask them to pick a bell pepper, put it inside the basket. Okay, just pick an apple and put it inside the basket. So these are some simple things, in which you have to be very mindful about it, conscious about it, and you have to keep on trying this. Extremely important to limit the processed fruits and the sugary food items. As per the new recommendations, we all know that no sugar till 2 years of age. So it is extremely important to just keep a limit over it, okay? Also, the processed food item. It's not that you should not offer anything, but moderation is the key. But you have to keep a limit over it also. It should not be that every day the child wants a packet of chips. No, if it is being offered as a treat once a week, good, not fine, not it's okay, it should be fine with that. But then still we have to limit that processed food. It's very important to serve appropriate portion of food. Don't think the amount which you are eating, your child will also eat that amount only. Okay. It depends as per the age, and there is no set portion size which is decided for as per the age of the child. It's just that you have to observe and identify that how much your child wants. If you have served, one, let us suppose one roti, and your child is full in that, it's fine. It's not that you have to forcefully make your child finish the other roti also because you cooked two roti for your child. No, okay. So, and then there can be other days when your child wants to eat only half a roti. Okay, that should also be fine. So, the important thing is that the the important thing is that it's not over a day what your child is eating. It's over a period of time, how the nutrition is being calculated. It's not that it is just over one day what your child is having. Okay. Next important thing is serve the appropriate size and the texture of the food. It's not that you are always serving mashed food, you're always serving purees. Okay. For the parents whose kids are, whose children are small, or you are just serving one type of food, try to work with different kinds of textures. Okay, different appropriate size also. Sometimes I have seen that 7 or 8 or 9 months parents still serving purees. Okay, I understand. uh, it is difficult, the transition is difficult, but then your child's mouth is also developing, as the child is growing. They need their tongue, their mouth, the muscles need that kind of sensory, exploration. So you need to serve different kind of textures. Whatever you are eating, by the age of 12 months, your child should be on the kitchen food entirely. Okay. And let us suppose if your child is 1.5 months, 2 years, still not eating, it means you have to offer, you have to keep on trying. Or, if there are any problems which the still after trying all those things, if things are not working for you, then it is important to consult a professional. Also, next important thing is make meals a family affair. Try to have at least one meal together with your children. Great time to connect, great time where child can observe and imbibe good habits from the parents, and a great way to, encourage the child to have all variety of food because they'll see everybody having it. Next is, try to offer calorie dense food. Very important because I understand sometimes the child might not eat. So, but if you'll offer calorie dense food, if the child is having one or two bites only, especially toddlers, then also, that will suffice everything. By calorie dense, I means, try to make it calorie dense by cooking it in good fats, adding nuts and seeds powder to it, adding, dairy products like paneer or sweet corns to it, sweet potatoes, including all these things in daily, meals can make it calorie dense. Okay. Also, try to focus on the presentation, how you're serving the food. Sometimes that works wonders if your child is not eating well. Try to serve food in different styles. It is not important every day to serve roti and sabji. Some days you can serve roti rolls also. Some day you can serve roti in puri also. You can serve in different styles. Very, very important. And the last important thing is that it is extremely important nowadays that if your child is facing a lot of problems in eating, not eating well, okay, you are trying everything, but still not working, it is extremely important to get a consult from your pediatrician, okay, so as to rule out if there are any medical issues, which is causing any kind of problems to the child. It can be simple as teething, it can be a problem of constipation, it can be a problem of reflux, or there can be some sensory issues also, which has to be taken care by a team of professionals, not only by pediatrician. A feeding therapist also, has to be included in it. Child nutritionist also has to be included in it so as to solve that problem your child is facing. So extremely important that instead of just forcing the child or just keep on trying in such cases, if you were suggested few things but those are not working for you, so please take a moment to think about it and consult a professional so that at right time a right approach is being followed for the child. Okay, so by implementing all these approaches, I'm sure that you can set up your kids on a path to a lifetime of healthy eating habits. So this was from me for today. I'm open to the questions. Please ask me if you have any questions. I would love to answer them. But the only message which I wanted to give today is that a little trust, is what is needed, to build that relationship, stronger. And also we need to understand that every child is different. So no comparisons that in terms of eating quantity, in terms of weight and height of your child. So every child is different, every family is different, okay. Uh, every family follows a different style of eating, different style of cooking. So there are a lot of differences. So we should never compare. We should just focus on your child, try to focus on your child, your family, and try to follow, all these healthy habits yourself so that your child also follows that. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So we can go ahead with the questions if anyone has. Someone has raised hand. Now you can go
Okay.
ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, there's one question. Child deny for healthy foods or act as she is full but always ready for snack or junk food. Yeah, this happens. The very first thing is just remove all that junk. Why it is so readily available at the home? Let us suppose if it is biscuits. I'm just talking about, if your child is at home right now, okay? Why all these are very things are very easily accessible to the child. Uh, if you will, I'll just give you an example. Whenever your child is not well, let us suppose the child is having cold and we visit a doctor, the first thing your doctor will say, especially in terms of a cold and cough, please stop all the biscuits, okay? And the next thing when you'll ask your doctor, ye to khata, the child asks for it, what will I do? The plain and simple answer your doctor will say, please remove them from your home, because obviously when they will see, they'll ask for it, okay? Or the second important thing is try to give a healthier options, try to make them at your home. And if the child is rejecting the healthy food, it means you are offering the other options. You don't have to offer the options, okay? If your child is rejecting the food, you say it's okay if you don't want to eat it, not a problem. You can have the next meal. Or let us suppose a scenario where your child is having food and your child asks for a biscuit. It's okay if your child has seen it and asked for a biscuit. Don't give a lot of importance to the biscuit. You can always take one biscuit and put it in the plate of the child only. If you will treat that food as something very special or something very bad, that will take a lot of attention of your child. See, I would never say that don't offer any food, don't offer chips or don't offer biscuits to your child or don't offer the snacks which are available outside your child. No, it is okay to offer, but then in moderation. Okay. If your child is denying the healthy food but taking the junk food, it means that that has been channelized again and again, your child knows. Now the child is smart that if I will not eat the food, I will get the other thing. So you don't have to offer, you have to be very consistent, and you have to be very rigid in your thoughts that, okay, fine, this is what I have cooked, and you have to eat this only. If the child rejects it, calm down. It's okay. Wait for the other meal. They'll feel hungry, they'll definitely going to come and ask, maybe they'll reject the meals for 1 day, 2 day. That is also that generally happens when they have cold, cough, and they are not well. But then also, we keep them hydrated and they are fine, right? So just you have to be consistent in that thing, and you don't have to offer the other thing. Also, the next thing is, why the child like the junk food. They are full of sugary items and a lot of flavors, which just makes the taste buds, so they just ignites them, and the child wants to eat it again and again. This is a kind of, that thing. So it's important, try to offer more presentable food, If your child loves having a burger, try to make a roti roll at home, and try to serve it in a presentable form. So just try to serve the food in different styles, just to start with it. Now, let me give you one more example. Let us suppose, you can just follow food chaining. That's a very great way. Let us suppose your child likes French fries. Okay, the child is very fond of having French fries. Now, you can try to make similar French fries at home as the first replacement. Second time, you can try to offer, sweet potato wedges, the next time fried. The next time you can boil and serve it in a sautéed form. Okay. Then you can talk to your child like, see, these are the French fries which are made out of the sweet potato. Would you like to try them? Try to serve next time in the form of a tikki. Then try to put it inside a roti or a paratha. Then put it inside a sabzi. Okay. This is how the taste works. Okay. If you need to start from one point and you need to work on replacements, and then you need to come at the base. If the child is very fond of eating things, still you can work on it. Okay, so you have to be very calm and you have to keep on offering, and it's okay if the child is not eating. Please don't uh, you know uh, be very stressful about it. Oh, my child is not eating, my child skipped a meal. So you have to be very conscious about it. Okay.
Yes, Mia, ma'am. If you have
Like,
any questions, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. Like today's session is really very helpful and useful, but due to my time constraint, and for you might have some questions
Thank you.
Ma'am, we can't hear you. You can type it down in our comment. Yeah. Sneha, ma'am, you have raised your hand. If you want to go ahead, you can.
Yes. So I'm a mother of 2 years old, and he's since birth he's been like always at a lower weight. I mean, but then I'm still breastfeeding him. But whoever I'm coming across, whether it's my neighbor, auntie, or my relatives or something, everyone is asking me like, if you stop breastfeeding, probably he'll start eating. I won't say he's a poor eater. He eats everything, but obviously, how much ever he's hungry, he eats that. So sometimes, even if he's not well or something, at least I know like he's feeding on me. So that is okay, even if he doesn't eat or something. So would you like to put some light over it? Like
This is
I
my
don't know whether to
favorite.
win him
This is
off or not, because I really don't want to win him off because he's so. I mean, it's something different. I mean, I want it to be from his side and not just forcefully winned off.
I
So
am
I don't
so
know.
happy. I am so happy to hear it. I'm a lactation professional, and this is something which is so near to my heart. And you won't believe that every day I counsel, I think 2 to 3 mothers, just because they get influenced by the people telling them, please
Mm.
stop breastfeeding, your child will start eating nicely. Please stop breastfeeding, your child will start sleeping well. Please stop breastfeeding, because these all are just myths. Okay.
Mm.
Breastfeeding is not only about nutrition, it is more than that. It is a kind of connection between you and your child. And it is not only nutrition, you are also giving much more than it, okay? A kind of immunity. And I always say, like, अगर आप बेबी को, if you're giving broccoli, let us suppose if you give broccoli to your child, you introduce it for the first time, and then again you give the broccoli to your child on the for the 100th time. Let us suppose now you are giving the
Mm.
nutrition value which broccoli had for the first time, the same value the broccoli is going to have on the 100th time also. So why breast milk, when it was nutritious on day one, why it has lost the nutrition when we are giving it at 2 years or 3 years? Okay, no need to wean off your baby. It is really good if you follow, natural term weaning, and you try to, whenever you and your child usually decide to wean the milk off,
Mm.
you can completely do that. If your child, let us suppose, if sometimes, it bothers you that my child is not eating well, breastfeeding is not the reason behind it. It might be that there is some other reason. Your child is not well, your child doesn't want to eat it, or your child is not hungry. Okay. And if we see in terms of weight, that should not be an issue, because I know we all understand, because healthy child is not about having more weight,
Mm.
or, it also is, it is all genetics also, which we imbibe from our parents. Okay. And there is a certain growth charts which the child follow, which can be calculated by a pediatrician. And a child who is active, participating well in all activities, eating well, is happy child, is not the child who is not, is dizzy entire day, and, very
Mm.
not participating, not very active. Then you have to give it a thought. Okay, there might be some issue, there might be some problems. If you think my child is not eating at all, yeah, definitely in that case, I also suggest, please consult a pediatrician. Please get, iron test done, that whether, because now these days, the kids are generally deficient in iron and zinc, and because of these deficiencies there can be a low in appetite. Okay, but then if everything is going well and child is eating well, you don't need to worry about the weight, and all these things, they will gradually gain the weight. There are kids, I'm sure you must have also seen, in our generation there were some kids who were always on the leaner side till they reached this 10th grade and 11th grade, and after that
Mm.
suddenly, they gained that kind of weight. So that should be absolutely normal. Breastfeeding is not going to affect the appetite of your child. It is, but it is extremely important that you should keep on offering calorie dense food to your child. How many, like, whatever number of times you are offering, like as per the plan of your house, you should keep on offering them. Breastfeeding is really going to help you on days, when your child is not well. Now your child
Mm.
is teething, or your child is having stomach upset, and also especially, because they haven't developed those sleep patterns yet. They will
Mm.
gradually develop those sleep patterns over the period of time. So breastfeeding is really going to help in, those things. So I think it's better to give back to those aunties than just listening to them.
Yeah, I mean, I just usually
Just,
ignore it, but then it's
yeah,
coming.
just
Even the pediatrician was like, you can by now you can stop breastfeeding and you can start sending him to playgroup and all this. He'll see others and he's okay. I mean, he eats well. It's not that he doesn't eat at all. It's that. But then people are coming up like you can win him off like that. So
no.
and
I think it's a great thing if you can, feed the baby as long as you have done it till 2 years. That's a great achievement for, you. And I think you should be proud of yourself. And then, if you want to continue and your child wants it, I think you should continue it till the time you are comfortable with it. The day when
mm,
you think, generally, if, when mothers come and, ask me, I take weaning sessions. So they come, my first question is, why do you want to wean? Okay. So if you actually want, your heart is saying, okay, fine, now, I want to wean my baby, I'm done with it. Okay, fine. Then we can go ahead on it. But if you're fine with it, you're comfortable with it, and your baby is also comfortable with, then I think you should not think about it. But yeah, on the other hand, it's really important for the mother to take care of her diet also. You are
mm,
taking care of the diet of your child, because it is important for you also, because you are making milk, so you need a good amount of diet also, to
mm,
so that you are not deficient in any of the things. Okay, especially calcium and iron, which is vitamin B12, extremely important for mothers to just,
mm,
get their blood assessments regularly done. And if anything is deficient, please take supplements for that.
mm. And also, I wanted to know, like, if winning of night, is it gonna help the sleep cycle anyways? Because if he sleeps with someone else, so they cannot put him back to sleep. But if I'm feeding,
Yeah.
obviously whereas other people, if he's sleeping with some, like after nap times, he sleeps only for 45 minutes or 1 hour. But if I'm there, he sleeps for 1.5 or 2 hours, like that.
Yeah, it
So, I
happens. It
mean,
happens,
yeah.
that mother touch, that breastfeeding really helps because you see, there's a whole lot of mechanism. When the child breastfeeds, okay, there is certain hormones which release from your milk and goes inside child, which is known as
Mm,
melatonin, which is a
mm,
sleep hormone. That's why the child, it helps the child to sleep, at a faster pace. But let us suppose, if you are planning to wean the child from the night feeds, let us suppose,
mm,
okay, you want to do that, then I would definitely suggest you to first start by afternoon and then move
mm,
towards night, okay? Because nighttime to start weaning off from the nighttime is not a good option, because your child will show a lot of aggression, and the child would be
mm,
really disturbed because of that. So, if you want, whenever you start to think about weaning, there are few points which you have to remember. Number one is that you should always start by afternoon. Okay, you can just start by skipping one month feeds. Number two, you need to take help from others. Okay, you need to talk to your child that okay, fine, now the milk is let us suppose as simple as that now the milk is not going to come, okay, and the
mm,
milk is going on vacation, mama won't be able to feed you. So it's always better to start preparing your child 15, 20 days before, you are
mm,
starting weaning off, okay? And then those, now see, there is breastfeeding, which is a kind of pacification for your child, right? Now
mm.
we are going
Yeah.
to we are going to take it away from the scene. Now what, so you need to add something else. So what that thing can be, that can be a lot of attention, okay? Try
Mm,
to engage child in different activities, okay? Try to offer their favorite food to them, okay?
mm,
Try to offer a few sips of water whenever they ask for milk. So these are few things which we try gradually, one by one.
mm,
Next is you can start by explaining your child that you will be only fed when it is dark, okay? So no
mm.
feeding during the
Okay.
night time, or when the sun comes out the milks go away, and when the sun goes away the milk comes in. This is how, like a story, you can explain it to your child. And believe me, it will sound that how will it work, but it does work. Kids are, they actually understand, they actually observe. If you would talk to them over a period of time and you try to explain them, they do understand and they do follow it. Initially they will
Mm,
see problem for 10 days, 15 days, but then they start following it, okay? Try to fix one spot at your home where you are just feeding, okay? And just be very particular about it, that you are going to feed at that spot only. So if you are outside the home or you are somewhere else, you are busy. So if your child asks for milk, you can always say, we are going to go to the room and we are going to sit on that chair and then only we are going to feed. We cannot feed here, okay? The other method can be, you can start reducing the duration of feeds, okay? Instead of just keep feeding and letting the child sleep over the breast, whenever the child asks for milk, offer the milk, but then reduce, don't let the child sleep over it, okay? You can always put in alarms, like, alarm is a great form that, okay, whenever the alarm will ring, we'll stop feeding. That is one of the
mm,
another method which you can follow. And to make the child sleep. Now, how to make the child sleep if breastfeeding is not there? You have to you have to follow other methods. Like, you can let us suppose reading stories to the child, rocking the child, okay, talking to the child, playing with the child.
mm,
So initially, you will see that if your child generally sleeps at, let us suppose, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. in
mm,
the afternoon, when you will try to make your child sleep without breastfeeding, it might take more than 1 hour to
mm,
make the child sleep, okay? Because now you are talking to the child and you are engaging the child, and the child is also missing upon that thing, but now the child is getting engaged into you. So there will be a change in certain patterns, okay? The sleep patterns
mm,
will also change.
mm,
The child might drop one or two naps during the
mm,
daytime because now you are engaging the child in different activities,
mm,
okay? And also you have to take help from your family members also. Now, as you said, that whenever my family members try to make my child sleep, the child doesn't sleep, okay?
mm,
So you have to be around, you can take help from your partner, okay, by keep on reading the stories, and then gradually you will see over the period of time, maybe after 10, 15 days, your child will start connecting those reading books with sleeping, okay? And there will be a day when they'll
mm,
start sleeping because they'll get tired of reading and now they don't have energy to force. Don't make them cry a lot
mm,
initially. It's always said that, don't offer, don't refuse. Like, apne aap se bhi you don't have to offer. And when they ask, don't refuse also. Just offer, put them on breast and just tell them that we'll just feed for 1 minute or so. Okay. And then
mm,
also try to, wean the feeds at last. The feeds which you should wean is the one at the night. before bedtime and one in the morning when they just get up and they want to eat.
Mhm.
These should be the last feeds when you should wean
Mhm.
off, because once you will wean off the afternoon feeds, the kids will start missing upon something and they would increase the night feeds also, because the
Mhm.
mother would be missing throughout the day and then they'll start
Mhm.
feeling, they would need that attention. They might should throw tantrums, they might cry also, but then you have to be consistent. You have to, more than your child, you have to prepare yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, that my child will throw tantrums, my child will show such things, but then I have to be now. If I have decided I will be consistent in this. Okay, I will give that extra attention, and I will, try to play with my child more. I will engage my child into interesting activities. I will take my child for a stroll in a garden, during that time of breastfeeding whenever my child asks, or I will offer something which is favorite, some homemade snacks I will offer at that period of time. So these are just a few tips, which generally works over the period of time, but don't over expect. It takes around 1 month or so, if you follow gentle feeding
Mhm.
methods. But I will never recommend to put something on your nipples or breast, so just as
No,
to
and
give
even
that
I'm
negative
against it. I
experience to
don't
your
want it.
child. Yeah, or maybe, there are some things that, you just go away
Mhm.
from the house. So that will also create that negative, until and
Mhm.
unless it is very emergency and there is something which is, stopping you, I would always recommend that you should follow
Mhm.
gentle methods.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, I think we don't have more questions here. So yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful insights about what is
Welcome.
balanced diet, what is healthy approaches towards that, and also giving us importance about what is mindful eating and what is basically food chain and everything. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this. Also, this was end of our day 4. So looking forward for you all to join us tomorrow for the day 5. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome. It was so nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Yeah, ma'am.
okay. Dhruti has written protein intake.
Okay.
So Dhruti, I think you should include proteins in daily, in the diet in the form of dals, and legumes, lentils. Don't set any that I have to offer this much of, it's never sufficient. So wanted to know the quantity. See, it would be very difficult for you, Dhruti, to measure it, Like if I say that, a child required this much grams of proteins, it will be very difficult for you. How will you, just calculate it? So I think it is important that if you are serving, let us suppose if you're serving proteins, try to offer daily, you should offer, 2 times, 3 times, in different varieties which you are offering. Let us suppose if you are offering dairy products, you are offering milk, you are offering egg, you are offering dals. In every form, protein is growing, and I think we always offer in day-to-day basis. So egg a day is very important. One bowl of dal a day is extremely important. Uh, you can offer 1 cup of milk daily, and then let us suppose a half a katori of curd, let us suppose you are offering, and if you're adding cheese to the diet, and all these things are going to take care of protein intake. Okay, Dhruti. If you want a very detailed thing, you can just connect with me, over my Instagram handle. It's @my_parenthood. If you guys have any other questions, if you want detailed things on that, you can always just message me. I'm just a message away. I will love to answer your questions. So, Dhruti, you can connect with me on Instagram. I would be in a better place to, tell you more about it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye bye.